Antoinette and Spencer are in a financial situation that is pretty common for a lot of couples in that their incomes are not the same. There are many couples where one person works and another person doesn't bring in income, where one person brings in a lot more money and another person brings in a small amount of money. It's rare that it is exactly the same amount of money from each partner. And so that's pretty common. What is not common is the communication. It's really important that couples sit down and have a conversation about finances. What do we make? What do we spend? What do we save? How do we spend our money? And that those conversations are ongoing as the relationship evolves and as the financial situation evolves.
It's all about being on the same page. The problem is that people often overlook the need to discuss stuff like this and to see if somebody is going to feel disempowered by it and maybe try to find ways to equalize that power or ways to sort of manifest the resentment that they feel because of that. And so I think especially in this kind of a case, these are averages, but where the guy is the dramatically lower wage earner, there is more of a tendency of the guy to have feelings of inadequacy, or at some point for the wife to say, hey, why aren't you earning more? Is it just because you've chosen some kind of career that's valuable that just doesn't pay much, or is it because you're just being lazy?
In the case of Antoinette and Spencer, their financial situation got worse as time went on. And so it made it harder to have a conversation about it. But it's important to do that. And so if you need to, you should bring in a financial expert. You could also bring in a family member or a friend who's really wise with money and literally sit down and look at what your past situation has been and problem solve together so that you end up on the same page.
The takeaway from Spencer and Antoinette's story is when somebody tells you who they are, believe them. Spencer showed early in the marriage that he was willing to put his own self-indulgence above the best interests of the family. And when you see that happening in one arena, the financial arena, for example, it is completely wrong to presume that it is confined to that arena. You are much more likely to see that trait coming out in a myriad of other ways. Might not be all the way up into including murder, but many other ways that are going to be hard to deal with.
When there is smoke, there is fire. There were so many issues in this relationship, financial issues, him thinking that she was cheating and sort of stalking her to find out. When things start to get chaotic in a relationship, something needs to be done.